What's going on, guys? So you guys asked me to review the new Yonko bounties that came out. If you haven't caught up to the anime, all the bounties for the Emperors of the Sea came out, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I have my own opinions on this. Let's get into it. Alright, so right now we have Blackbeard sitting at a whopping 2,247,600,000 berries. When I first heard this, I thought he got lowballed. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Listen, before he got Whitebeard's Devil Fruit, I mean, it probably wouldn't even be this high anyway. But after you get Whitebeard's Devil Fruit, I mean, come on. Whitebeard's Devil Fruit alone should be worth 2.5 billion just because of all the destructive capabilities that it has. Now, I try to think, why would the Marines, why would the world government put such a low bounty? Even though he's a new Yonko, there's something more to that. And the first thing that came to my mind was the Blackbeard Pirates and the Revolutionary Army. They don't have a great relationship. That does kind of indirectly serve the Marines and the world government's purpose. But then again, you also have Eam with the picture of Blackbeard slashed out. I mean, things aren't really adding up. He got lowballed in my estimation. I probably would have put him closer to maybe 3.5 billion, but it is what it is. Next, we have Red Hair Shanks sitting at 4,048,900,000 berries. This again is someone getting lowballed at first glance. But then we have to come back to reality. Shanks, again, even though he's incredibly powerful, he's also very mysterious. He moves very silently. A lot of us don't really know what Shanks is really doing. We've seen him in a meeting with the Gorosei, doing what, asking what, talking about what, who knows, all right? That may have some reflection on his bounty numbers. So this bounty is still pretty respectable because we have to think about it. Shanks likes to stay out of the public eye. But when we look at his crew, we see Ben Beckman there, super powerful. Yasopp, an incredible sniper. And everybody there of that nature is also top tier. Then you even have him stopping the Marineford War. So they know how powerful he is. They just don't know his motive. And that's something where I think his bounty, it makes sense. It makes sense. Let's keep going. We have Charlotte Lin, aka Big Mom, sitting at 4,388,000,000 berries. This is spot on. This is perfect for Big Mom. Listen, we have to talk about what Big Mom really does behind the scenes, because a lot of people talk about her power. You know, people make fun of the fact that, you know, her hunger makes her act crazy, makes her act wild. We've seen what happened during the whole Cake arc. But as a leader of an entire nation, Big Mom is one of the best to ever do it, hands down. First off, when it comes to territorial expansion, Big Mom is top notch. I mean, before Luffy got there, she had Fishman Island literally making dishes for her to eat. She doesn't care about who you are, what your name is, what your bounty is. It does not matter. If Big Mom wants a piece of your territory or a piece of your power, she will do everything in her power to get it. And we saw that happen with Sanji. You know, Sanji is part of the Germa 66 family. What did Big Mom want? She pretty much finessed Judge and almost married off Pudding and Sanji so she can gain more territory, so she can gain more power, so she can gain more science. And she's always been like this. I mean, look back to her history with her collecting living beings. She's always trying to get a one-up in the science field and the territorial expansion field and everything. Her Devil Fruit power is one of the most unique we have ever seen throughout One Piece. I mean, she can literally reduce someone's lifespan. She can put souls into living beings, non-living beings. I mean, she's just top tier. Making her family her own army is a very smart plan. It's a very smart plan. And most of all, she's willing to make alliances. Her willing to team up with Kaido once again is something that she's a danger to the world. She's a danger to the world. She's an all-world talent, but she's a danger to the world. So I'm okay with her bounty being this high. Let's keep going. So we have Kaido sitting at 4,611,100,000 berries. This is fitting for the world's strongest beast. Kaido is a straight offensive threat for anybody in One Piece right now. If you are alive in One Piece, you have to watch out for Kaido. Not only just for him, but for the fact that he was the leader of the underworld trading of the Smile Devil Fruits. He ran that entire operation. And why did he do this? Because he wanted to make the largest, strongest army in the world. He is a huge threat to the Marines and the world government. We know this because he's in the land of Wano. I mean, the land of Wano is one of those lands that is completely left off of the radar for the Marines and the world government, or so we think. We know, we just saw X Drake recently get some intel on Cypher Pole walking through there, and he relayed that to Kobe. But at least on the surface, the Marines and the world government do not mess with Wano. Kaido obviously has something to do with that. The main reason I want to hype up Kaido right now is not just because of the things I stated earlier. It's because of, if you are in the worst generation, you despise this man. You want to do everything in your power to get rid of Kaido, because Kaido is the worst generation's worst nightmare. Point blank, period. I mean, you're talking about falling out the sky and this dropping on the Kid Pirates, and now all of a sudden Captain Kidd is in jail. Killer is non-stop laughing. We have no idea where the rest of his crewmates are. We have Apu working for Kaido, Hawkins working for Kaido. You even have X Drake working for Kaido as well, even though we know he's a spy for the Marines. You have all of the worst generation there. Law is trying to figure things out and try to keep Luffy in line. Luffy just wants to go full force. He is the worst generation's biggest nightmare. He stands in their way, point blank, period. And also, he's also willing to be part of an alliance with Big Mom. So, I like the bounty. I like it. Okay, so you have my opinions on the Yonko that are alive. But let's talk about those who have passed away. You have Whitebeard, sitting at 5 billion, 46 million berries. I mean, my God, that is exactly the number I was expecting. Something way over everybody else, because that is who Whitebeard is. That's what he embodied. And again, Marineford War. He was walking up those steps and you did not hear a peep, not one whisper, nothing from anybody in the entire area. You just heard his footsteps. That's what he does. That's Whitebeard. So I like this. And then you have the Pirate King, Gol D. Roger, sitting at 5,564,800,000 berries. I mean, to even have a bounty higher than Whitebeard is just an incredible feat, but it makes sense. Yet not a lot of people agree with that. I want to bring up an article that I was reading. Yes, it's a CBR article, but it's actually a great one because it brings up a question that a lot of people in the One Piece community have. It's whether Whitebeard deserves a higher bounty over Roger or not. And I want to show you guys this. Let's talk about this. Roger seems to have accomplished few but grand things in his life. He conquered the Grand Line and began the Great Age of Piracy with his last words before being executed. He also learned the secret of the D that many of the most powerful people in One Piece, including wannabe Pirate King Monkey D. Luffy, have in their names. He, of course, fought against the Marines, with his main rival being Vice Admiral Monkey D. Garp. However, during the last year of his life, he was suffering from an incurable illness and was only able to reach the Grand Line thanks to Crocus's medical treatment. Had he not had Crocus with him, he probably would have not made it as far as he did. I feel like you're giving a little too much credit to Crocus and not enough to Roger. It is more than just having the D in his middle name and having the Will of D. Roger is one of the strongest pirates of all time. But let's talk about Whitebeard just for a little bit. Whitebeard, on the other hand, was able to conquer several islands and bring them into his territory while ending slavery on at least one of those islands. He also commanded a fleet of 1,600 pirates. He brought stability and order to the islands in his territory and protected them from other pirates. Even during Roger's time as a pirate, Whitebeard was known as the strongest man in the world. All right, so this is crucial because Whitebeard being regarded as the world's strongest man is huge. But this does not take away from anything that Roger has accomplished. And when we go through Roger's history in a moment, we will see why I believe Roger was slightly ahead of Whitebeard. There's many instances that kind of hint towards that, but there's enough evidence here that gives me that Roger edge over Whitebeard. But let's continue. His strength was so immense that it was even greater than that of giants. He lived longer than Roger, so he was able to cause more trouble for the Marines and build up his reputation. So why is there such a noticeable difference between the two men's bounties? Now, you did an amazing job highlighting how incredible Whitebeard was, because yes, Whitebeard's career is one of the greatest we've ever seen. I mean, not only paying respect to the longevity, but the territories that he happened. The moment Whitebeard died, the world in One Piece changed like that. I mean, pirate numbers ballooned. Everybody started going haywire. Buggy became a warlord. I mean, just pure madness was going on just because Whitebeard was now out of the way. Big Mom started saying crazy things like, oh, Whitebeard wouldn't want to see me. I could beat Whitebeard and Roger. She started saying all this stuff once Whitebeard could not defend himself. So this is why Whitebeard was so great, was so powerful. But we can't ignore Roger. And this is why I believe that this is disrespectful to Roger. I would like to mention the Rocks Pirates. Manga readers already know what I'm about to say. But let's look at who was a part of the Rocks Pirates. Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, Shiki, Captain John. Shall I go on? Shall I go on? I mean, look at this lineup is cheese. Look who's on. Everybody that became a Yonko is a part of the Rocks Pirates, and not even just including Rocks D. Xebec himself. I mean, how powerful was he in his prime? Nobody has any idea, but we have to look at who they had to fight against. They fought against Monkey D. Garp and Roger. And obviously, you know, Rayleigh and all of them were there as well, because there's no way they could have done it, just the two of them. But it speaks volumes of how powerful Roger was. If you're stopping all of these top tier pirates that became Yonko in their primes and Yonko later on, and you're defeating them, it's crazy. I can't even comprehend what kind of person that, you know, Rocks was, but also I can't even comprehend how powerful, how crazy that fight must have been. I mean, that's insane. But here's another point on why Roger is still the GOAT and deserves the highest bounty. Roger sat down with Whitebeard and asked him a question. He asked him, do you want to be the Pirate King? If you want to be the Pirate King, I can hand you the keys right now. Go ahead, take it. Is that not a convincing argument of Whitebeard pretty much being in a slightly lesser role than Roger? Roger saying, you know what, I recognize you. I think you would be a great Pirate King. I can tell you where you need to go and I can tell you what you need to do. I'm handing you the keys. And if Whitebeard wanted it, he could have taken the keys. He just didn't want to. That is them paying respect to each other. And even though Whitebeard is legendary, and I'm one of the biggest Whitebeard fans of all time, we can't be disrespecting Roger like this, saying, oh, it's just the will of D. That's the only reason why. Oh, it's just, you know, Crocus was the reason why. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Roger is elite. The Rocks Pirates got defeated by Roger and Garp, and it goes down in history as he is one of the craziest pirates. There's only one man that should have a bounty around this level. That's not Whitebeard or Roger. And that, in my opinion, would be Monkey D. Dragon. All right, so you guys let me know what you guys think of these bounties, man. What do you think? Too high? Too low? This is insane. I mean, we are at a top tier moment in One Piece. The whole year is gonna be crazy with what's going on, whether you're reading the manga or you're watching the anime. And with that, see you next time. Peace.